Hello everyone. The SAT math test consists of 58 questions. It is divided into four main sections, which are Heart of Algebra, which focus on linear equation, system of linear equation and function that are found in many fields of study. There are 19 questions, about 33% of the test in this section. Second, Passport to Advanced Math, which focus on solving quadratic and binomial equations. There are 16 questions, about 28% of the test in this section. Third, Problem Solving and Data Analysis, which focus on ratio, proportion, percent, units, and statistics. There are 17 questions, about 29% of the test in this section. Finally, Addition topics in math, making areas, volumes, and investigating lines, angles, triangles, and circles using theorems, and working with trig function. There are six questions, about 10% of the test in this section. What now? We are going to study each section of the test. We will start by Heart of Algebra. The content of this section will cover the following areas: linear equation and system of linear equations, linear inequalities and system of inequalities, absolute value, graphing of linear and inequalities equation. The most important concept that you must understand in Heart of Algebra section is the linear equation. So, what is linear equation? Linear equation is the equation of straight line. It can be represented in xy plane as following. Now, how to write linear equation mathematically? It can be written in different forms. One of these forms is slope-intercept form, which is equal y equal mx plus c, where x is the input variable and y is the output variable, and m is the slope of the equation, and b is y-intercept. In the following slides, we are going to understand each item of this equation clearly. Now, if we have a mathematical equation and we want to know if this equation is linear or not, how we do this? By simple rule. We are going to check the variable x and y, and they must be to the power of 0 or 1. Let's take an example. Y equal 2x plus 1. Here, the variable x and y are to the power to the 1 degree, and then this equation is linear. Let's take some more examples in the next table. First, 4y equal 5 over x plus 15. We can rewrite this equation as following: 4y equal 5x power minus 1 plus 15. Here x is to the power minus 1, then it is not linear equation. The second example, 7y equal 3 root x plus 96. Here x is to the power to the half, then the equation is non-linear. The next example, 5y equal x squared plus 8. Here x to the power of 2, then it is not a linear equation. Next example, 3y equal x minus 1, x power minus 1 plus 11. Here x to the power x minus 1, then it is nonlinear equation. Next example, 3xy equal 5x plus 15. Here x and y are each of them are to the power of 1, but it's not linear equation. Why? We can rewrite this equation by dividing each side by x. It will be like in this form. Then we can cancel each x with each other. It will be 3y equal 5 plus 15 over x, then it is non-linear equation. Next example, 4y equal x over 5 plus 10. Here y and x are to the power to the 1, then it is linear equation. Next example, 7y equal root 5 x plus 14. Here also y and x are to the power of 1, then it is linear equation. To can understand linear equation easily, we are going to talk about linear function. For example, if we have an input variable x, where x is an independent variable, and we enter this variable to a function, we get an output y, where y is dependent variable that depend on x. It can be denoted as f of x, as it depend on x. Now what inside the function box? It will be a linear equation that relates between y and x, and it will be equal y equal mx plus b. That means that for each input x there will be an output y. For example, if we enter x1, we will get an output y1. If we enter x2, we will get an output x2, and so on. Let's take an explanation example to show you how to write linear equation and to understand each term in this equation. For example, if we have an input variable x, which represent the number of months, and it will be entered to a function to get an output y, which represent the total cost of rented flat. It is important to observe that the input of the function is different from the output of the function, as the input represent the number of the months and the output represent the total rented cost. Then let's take a look inside the function and see the linear equation that makes this conversion. Y equal mx plus b, where b is the extra fee, which is equal 3, and m is cost of the flat per month, which is equal 5. We can substitute by each value of x to get the value of y, as seen in the next table. For example, when x equals 0, we'll substitute it and get y equals 3, and for x equal 1, then y equal 8, which represent the total cost of rent flat after 1 month, and so on. We can represent this equation in xy plane as applying each point on the graph from the table as following. At x equals 0, y equals 3. At x equal 1, y equal 8. At x equal 2, y equal 13. At x equal 3, y equal 18. Then we can connect this point as following. It's clear that the linear equation is represented as a straight line. One important tip: at x equals 0, y equals 3. This point is called y-intercept, which represent b constant. I hope this video helped you, and see you next video.